So in the yesterday's class, we have seen the transformer efficiency equations and the losses and how we take the losses into the efficiency equation. So today we will be solving examples on losses and the efficiency. Okay. So I will read out the statement of example. In a single phase transformer, a supply frequency of 50 Hertz. In a single phase transformer, a supply frequency of 50 Hertz produces a flux density of 1.2 Weber per meter square. In a single phase transformer, a supply frequency of 50 Hertz produces a maximum flux density of 1.2 Weber per meter square, okay, which produce an eddy current loss of 70 watts. If the frequency is increased to 60 Hertz, if the frequency is increased to 60 Hertz and flux density is reduced to half of previous value, what is the value of eddy current? If the frequency is increased to 60 Hertz and if flux density is reduced to half of the previous value, what is the value of eddy currents? What is the value of eddy current loss? Not eddy currents. What is the value of eddy current loss? Okay. So, solution for F1 is equals to 50 Hertz, or generally we will see first. See, eddy current losses are given as WE is equals to some eta material constant. You can take eta, beta, zeta, K1, K2, whatever. It is material constant. Okay. Bm square F square T square into V watts. Okay. Bm square F square T square into V watts. Now, material constant is constant for the type of material what I use, it won't change. Frequency once is 50 Hertz, once it is 60 Hertz, so it is changing. Maximum value of flux density, once it is 1.2 Weber per meter square, second it is half of that value, so it is changing. Thickness of core is constant, volume of core is constant. So what I can write is WE is proportional to Bm square and F square. Okay, in this case, I am talking exclusively in this case. Okay, WE is proportional to Bm square and F square. Fine. For F1 is equals to 50 Hertz and Bm1 is equals to 1.2 Weber per meter square. Okay, WE1 is equals to 70. That is given already. Okay, that is given. Now for F2 is equals to 60 Hertz, BM2 is equals to half of BM1 is 0.6 Weber per meter square. Now what is WE2? This is my question. Therefore, taking the ratio, or we can write here WE1 is proportional to F1 square into BM1 square. WE2 is proportional to F2 square BM2 square. Now taking the ratio of WE1 to WE2, simple. WE2 to WE1. Take ratio WE2 to WE1 equals to F2 square BM2 square upon F1 square BM1 square. So this implies WE2 is equals to WE1 F2 square BM2 square by F1 square BM1 square. Now substituting the values, we get 70 into 60 square into 0.6 square divided by 50 square into 1.2 square. Therefore WE2 is equals to, here only I will write, so I get 25.2 watts. Okay, 25.2 watts. So I am increasing the frequency but decreasing the flux density. Therefore, the effect is decreasing eddy current loss. There is no compulsion that when I increase frequency and decrease flux density, eddy current loss should decrease. It depends by how much value I am increasing the frequency and by how much value I am decreasing the flux density. If increase in frequency is double, then the eddy current loss may increase. Okay, so this is how the eddy current losses vary. Okay, if I vary the frequency, because only thing what I can vary is either frequency or flux density, because these two are electrical quantities. But whereas material constant, thickness, volume are the physical parameters of the transformer. So once I fabricate the transformer, I can't vary this. Now if I want the difference in or the variations in losses, I have to vary either flux density or the frequency only. Okay, but most of the times what happens, frequency is also constant, because I usually use the standard supply voltage or standard supply system. So when I use standard supply system, my frequency will remain constant. Hence, my eddy current losses are solely depending upon my flux density. So if I choose large value of flux density, losses will be more. It is true with hysteresis loss also. Okay, if I choose less value of flux density, losses will be less. Okay, we move to second example. Second example statement. The iron losses in a magnetic material is 120 watts at 40 hertz. The iron losses is 120 watts The iron losses in a magnetic material is 120 watts at 40 hertz. At 40 hertz and 90 watts at let us say Wi1 and 90 watts Wi2, 90 watts at 30 hertz, 90 watts at 30 hertz. If the flux density is kept constant, if the flux density is kept constant, if the flux density is kept constant, what will be the eddy current and hysteresis loss? If the flux density is kept constant, what will be the eddy current and hysteresis loss at 50 hertz? At 50 hertz of supply frequency. Okay. What will be the eddy current loss at 50 hertz of supply frequency? Okay. So the iron loss in a magnetic material is 120 watts at 40 hertz and 90 watts at 30 hertz. If the flux density is kept constant, what will be the eddy current and hysteresis loss at frequency of 50 hertz? Okay. Solution. So we know that what are iron losses or core losses? Iron loss is nothing but sum of eddy current loss and hysteresis loss. Okay, so I can write Wi is equals to We plus Wh. Okay, We plus Wh. And what is We? It is some eta Bm square F square T square into V, and hysteresis for Wh is some beta Bm raised to 1.6 F into V watts. Okay. Now, like I told in the previous example, eta beta material constant. Once I choose the material after fabrication of that transformer, these two are constants. Thickness and volume are the physical parameters, so those will remain constant. So eddy current losses will be proportional to Bm square into F square. Hysteresis losses will be proportional to Bm raised to 1.6 sin F. But it is mentioned that for any variation in the frequency, for all the variation in the frequency, my flux density is kept constant. So therefore, Bm square and Bm to power 1.6 is also a constant for me. Okay, so eta is a constant, T, V are constant. Now Bm is also kept constant. Therefore, eddy current losses are proportional to, okay, since Bm, eta, beta, F, V, sorry, not F, T and V are constants, eddy current loss is proportional to frequency square, okay, and hysteresis loss is proportional to frequency. Eddy current loss is proportional to frequency square and hysteresis loss is proportional to frequency. Okay. Now, at 40 hertz, or let eddy current loss is equals to A into F square, okay, and hysteresis loss is equals to B into F. That eddy current loss is equals to A into F square and hysteresis loss is equals to B into F, where A and B are constants. Because all are remaining constant, I will take that as constant. Okay. Now, If I know what is the value of A and B, okay, once I get to know what is the value of A and B, I can find out eddy current and hysteresis loss at any frequencies. Yes, if I know the value of A, substitute the value of frequency, square it, I get eddy current loss. If I know the value of B, substitute the value of frequency, I get hysteresis loss. So first I need to find what is the value of A and what is the value of B. So once I get A and B, I can very easily find out what is eddy current and hysteresis loss at any frequency. Okay, but here given is 50 Hertz. Now, eddy current loss 1 is equals to A into F1 square. Okay, eddy current loss 2 is equals to A into F2 square. F1 is 40 Hertz. Okay, sorry, they have not given separately. We will see together. Now, iron losses is equals to eddy current loss plus hysteresis loss. Now, I can write this as iron loss is equals to A into F square plus B into F. A into F square plus B into F. Now here, I know iron losses at frequency 40 Hertz. I know iron losses at frequency 90 Hertz. So Wi is equals to, or Wi1 is equals to A F1 square plus B F1, and Wi2 is equals to A F2 square plus B F2. Okay. So this will give us, this implies Wi1 A into F1 square, or I will write below here, it is 120 watts. 120 is equals to A into 40 square plus B into 40. 90 is equals to A into 30 square plus B into 30. Now let this be equation 1 and equation 2. No, solving equation 1 and 2. Solving equation 1 and 2. Okay. So what I get? 140 square, 1600 into A plus 40 into B is equals to 120. 30 square, 900A plus 30B is equals to 90. Now solve these two equations. So take the calculator into equation mode. Two unknowns. So 1600, 40, 120. A to 900, 30, 90. Oh, I'm getting A 0. So A is equals to 0 and B is equals to 3. We can't help. Okay. So whatever value you are getting, you take it. Don't worry. Okay. So A is equals to 0, B is equals to 3. Okay. Now, eddy current losses at 50 Hertz. Sorry, iron losses at 50 Hertz. So Wi is equals to 0 into F plus 3 into, iron losses, 0 into F square plus 3 into F at F is equals to 50 Hertz. So Wi is equals to 3 into 50 is equals to 150 watts. So eddy current losses are not existing because coefficient of eddy current loss is 0. Therefore, in this case eddy current loss are not existing. But this will not be true every time. You will get some value of A. Okay. So this is how I can calculate the iron losses, okay, at various frequencies. Okay. We'll move to next example on efficiency. A 10 kVA example, a 10 kVA 400 bar 200 volts, 10 kVA 400 bar 200 volts, 50 hertz single phase transformer, 50 hertz single phase transformer is having a full load copper loss of 250 watts. Is having a full load copper loss of 250 watts and iron loss of 140 watts and iron loss of 140 watts. Iron loss of 140 watts. Find the efficiency or find the efficiency at okay, first case I will write it at the corner so that my things will be forever. So find the efficiency at full load, 0.8 power factor, at full load 0.8 power factor, okay, at half the full load, okay, 0.75 power factor, half the full load 0.75 power factor. Third 85% of full load, 0.78 power factor, 85% of full load 0.78 power factor, and fourth, maximum efficiency of transformer. Maximum efficiency of transformer. Okay. So I have to calculate efficiencies at 4 different conditions. So let us write the given things down here. Okay. KVA is equals to 10 kVA Full load kVA is 10 kVA. Full load copper loss is equals to 250 watts, and iron loss is equals to 140 watts. So one thing you should be observing here, in any transformer, my full load copper losses will be more than iron losses. You should remember this. My full load copper losses will be always greater than iron losses. Okay? And 400 bar 200, this is not required actually, and 50 hertz. These are the given things. Okay, so I will rub the upper part, I will get more space for my solution. Keep it as it is. Okay. Now first we should see what is the equation of transformer efficiency. Okay. So efficiency of transformer at any load, eta x or simply eta, it will do. Okay. Efficiency at x, or simply you can write efficiency, is equals to x into volt ampere full load cos phi divided by x into volt ampere full load cos phi plus iron loss plus x square into copper loss at full load into 100, okay, multiplied by 100. This is my equation. Okay, so in this equation, full load volt ampere I know it is where I have written 10 kVA. Okay, cos phi are given at various conditions. Load factor x are also given at various conditions. Okay, iron losses are 140 watts, copper losses at full load are 250 watts. Now the first case, efficiency at full load 0.8 power factor. Okay, you note the same way. For the first one or two examples, you note the things as much detail as possible, because these are the examples which will make you understand the concepts. Later, when you are familiar with the concepts and practice, you can write directly in the equation and substitute. Okay, don't have the habit of direct substitution in calculator and writing only the answer in the book. Okay, please have the habit of substitution also, because in the substitution you will get to know where we people are going wrong. Okay, if the answer is wrong, I can very easily cross verify in my substitution. Okay, now efficiency at full, what do you mean by full load? Here x is equals to actual load is full load divided by full load is equals to 1. So at full load x is always equals to 1. Okay, cos phi is 0.8 given, therefore efficiency at full load is equals to x 1 into what is full load volt amperes? Full load volt amperes is 10 kVA, so 10 into 10 to the power 3 into cos phi is 0.8 given, divided by same 1 into 10 into 10 to the power 3 into 0.8 plus Wi, iron losses 140 plus x square 1 square 250 multiplied by 100. So therefore full load efficiency is equals to, okay, I don't have answers. Okay, I will be calculating along with you. So it comes to 95.35%. It comes out to be 95.35%. Okay. So this is how I have to substitute the values and calculate. Okay. Now we will go to next point, second point, where I have to calculate the efficiency at half the full load. At half the full load, 0.75 power factor lag. 0.75 power factor lag. Yeah. So what is X is equals to now? Half the full load is half the full load divided by full load, that is 0.5. X equal to 0.5, cos phi equal to 0.75. Therefore, efficiency at half the full load is equals to 0.5 into 10 into 10 to the power 3 into 0.75 divided by 0.5 into 10 into 10 to the power 3 into 0.75 plus 140. Iron losses will not change, it will remain as it is, plus, yeah, here now X is 0.5, so 0.5 square into 250 into 100. Okay, don't forget to multiply X square to copper losses. So this will be 94.87%. This will be 94.87%. Okay. So I should be very careful in knowing at what load factor I am calculating the efficiency with what power factor. Okay. Now third case. This is case 2. Okay. Now case 3. Case 3, efficiency at 85% of full load, 0.78 power factor. Maximum efficiency of transformer at 0.85 power factor. We need power factor also. Maximum efficiency of transformer at 0.85 power factor. You please note that. Okay, so efficiency at 85% of full load, 0.78 power factor. So here X is equals to 0.85. Okay, 85% of full load, that is 0.85. Okay, and power factor is 0.78. Therefore, efficiency at 85% full load is equals to 0.85 into 10 into 10 to the power 3 into 0.78, no, 0.85 in 10 into 10 to the power 3 into 0.78 plus 140 plus 0.78 square into 250 multiplied by 100. So this will come out to be 95.78. 95.78. 0.78%. Okay, so this is the efficiency at 85% of full load condition at 0.78 power factor. Okay, next is maximum efficiency at 0.85 power factor. Maximum efficiency at 0.85 power factor. Okay, so in maximum efficiency I have the condition for maximum efficiency. Condition for maximum efficiency is what? My copper losses should be equal to iron losses. Note that not iron losses equals to copper losses. In the yesterday's class I told iron losses cannot be equal to copper losses. Why? Because iron losses are constantly existing the moment when transformer is put into service, whether the transformer is on load or no load. Now, if I take iron losses equal to copper losses, then my iron losses 140 becomes 250, which is not possible. Practically, iron losses will not change with respect to load. So, but my copper losses can change. You take for example, my copper losses are WCU is equals to say I2 square R2E. At no load, copper losses are 0 because my I2 is 0. At full load, my copper losses are at full load. I2 full load square RE. Between 0 and full load, the copper losses are varying. So here, full load copper losses are 250 watts. So in this transformer, the copper losses are varying from 0 to 250 watts. So when it is varying from 0 to 250 watts, it will be equal to 140 watts also sometime. The moment when copper losses become equals to 140, that is the point where the efficiency of transformer is maximum. If you take the other way, there is no meaning at all, because I cannot equate iron losses to copper losses because copper losses are variable. So I cannot equate a constant to a variable, but I can equate a variable to a constant. I can write x equal to 2. Okay, I cannot write 2 equal to x. It has got no meaning. Though mathematically it is correct. LHS equal to RHS we hence proved we write. But physically 2 equal to x has no meaning. Okay. So it is not only the mathematics we have to study, we should also understand the physical meaning behind that. Okay. So it will be always copper losses equal to iron losses. Many books they have wrongly mentioned iron losses equal to copper losses because they wrote as per that derivation. As per that derivation I get Wi equal to WCU. For that they wrote iron losses equal to copper losses, but that is a wrong statement. For condition for maximum efficiency, my copper losses should become equal to iron losses because copper losses are varying. Okay. Now, condition for maximum efficiency is copper losses should equals to iron loss, and these are not full load copper loss. These are not full load copper loss. Okay, these are equals to copper losses at maximum efficiency condition. Okay, what is the load factor at maximum efficiency? Yes, so what I can write this as WCU is equals to x square WCU full load. Okay, or Wi is equals to x, or in WCU is nothing but x square WCU full load is equals to Wi. I don't know the value of x here. See, when it is asked to calculate maximum efficiency, it is by default you have to calculate the value of x. For calculating the maximum efficiency, x value will not be given. Okay. When it is mentioned in the problem statement that you should calculate maximum efficiency, then the x value is never mentioned there. Okay. X value we have to find it out. So that x is equals to under root Wi plus WCU full load. I know iron loss 140 watts. I know copper loss at full load 250 watts. Okay, take the ratio of those and under root, that I will get the value of X. Therefore, X is equals to under root 140 by 250. .748. The load factor is 74.8% of the full load. Okay. Now X is 0.748. Power factor is 0.85. My iron losses and copper losses are equal. Okay. Now I have to substitute and this I can write is equals to 140. Now this is equals to 140. You can see 0.748 square into 250. You will get 140 only. Okay. So X equals to this we got. Okay. Now I don't need this. I will draw. Therefore, maximum efficiency max is equals to X VA full load into cos phi divided by X VA full load cos phi plus 2 into Wi, because copper losses are equal to iron losses. 2 into Wi. Okay. Therefore, maximum efficiency is equals to 0.748 into 10 into 10 to the power 3 into 0.85 divided by 0.748 10 into 10 to the power 3 into 0.85 plus 2 into 140 into 100 into 100 obviously. It is 95.78%. 95.78%. This is the maximum efficiency at 0.85 power factor. If power factor changes, maximum efficiency will change. Okay. Maximum efficiency at 0.85 power factor. So this is how we have to go towards the solution of numericals. Okay. Shall we see one more? Okay. We shall see one more example and we will finish today's class. Okay, after this next example. But this is not end of transformers. I need one more class for examples. Okay, because examples on efficiency are very important. Okay, you may get example for almost some 8 marks to 10 marks also in your question paper. Okay, so these examples are very important. You should be practicing this. A 15 kVA okay, a 15 kVA 50 Hz single phase transformer a 15 kVA 50 Hertz single phase transformer is having full load copper loss of a 15 kVA 50 Hertz single phase transformer is having full load copper loss of 180 watts, full load copper loss of 180 watts, not 180, you take 220 watts. Full load copper loss of 220 watts and has full load efficiency of 95% at 0.8 power factor. Full load efficiency of 95% at 0.8 power factor lag. What would be the efficiency of transformer? At half the full load at unity power factor. At half the full load unity power factor. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is the given statement. Now if iron losses were known, directly I would have calculated at half the full load unity power factor. Because X will be 0.5, cos phi is 1, substitute the value of kVA is given, iron loss and copper loss. But unfortunately I don't know iron losses here. But I know for any given transformer, my iron losses will remain constant over the variation in the load condition. Therefore, in first case, the efficiency is known, copper losses is known, okay? Or first I will write the equation for efficiency. Efficiency is equals to X full load volt ampere cos phi divided by X full load volt ampere cos phi plus iron loss plus X square full load copper loss into 100. So with the given data, I know efficiency at full load, X will be 1 in that case, power factor is given 0.8, copper losses are given, the only unknown will remain is iron loss. So from the given value, I can calculate iron loss. Once I get iron loss, that iron loss will remain constant throughout, it won't change. Okay. So now, substitute all the values. Efficiency at full load 0.8 power factor, that is 0.96 is equals to 1, that is X equals to 1 into 15 into 10 to the power 3 into 0.8 upon 1 into 15 into 10 to the power 3 into 0.8 plus Wi plus 1 square 220. Okay. So 220, yeah. I can get what is Wi. From this equation, Wi is equals to, I have to find out. So I will write it here. 0.96 into 15 into 10 to the power 3 into 0.8 plus Wi plus 220 is equals to 15 into 10 to the power 3 into 0.8. Okay, so if you multiply this with 0.96, 15 into 0.96 into 0.8, 11.52, 11.52 into 10 to the power 3 plus 0.96 Wi plus 220 into 0.96 to 11.2 is equals to 15 into 10 to the power 3 into 0.8. Now this I will write directly as 15 into 0.8, 12 into 10 to the power 3, 12 into 10 to the power 3. Okay, so Wi is equals to, so 12,000 minus 11.52 into 10 to the power 3 minus, to 11.2 divided by 0.96. No, so we can't do this. It is coming out as 280. Okay. But generally my iron losses will not be more than full load copper losses. Okay. If that is the case, I will never get maximum efficiency of transformer. Okay. So we will discard this example. We will discard this. We can go to solution. There is no harm. Now substitute Wi equal to 280, Wc equal to 220, and put the value of x equal to 0.5 and do that. Okay. But the problem is, conceptually this transformer cannot exist. My iron losses will be usually less than full load copper losses. Okay. So you can take forward the example. You can substitute Wi is equals to 280, Wcu full load is equals to 220, multiplied by x equals to 0.5. Okay, and take the solution. There is no harm. Okay, you just take it forward. Okay. So I will not solve this. You just put it for a practice. You can take the solution. Okay, you can solve on yourself. So with this, we will end today's session. In tomorrow's class or in next class, we will solve few more examples on transformer efficiency. Then we will wind up this unit. Okay. So thank you for 1 second.